footwear fanatic who ended up a murder victim. A California woman made the Guinness Book of World Records, as Robin said, with 15,000 plus shoe-related items. She was featured on reality television, but has now been found dead in her backyard pool. ABC's Rob Nelson's here with much more on the story this morning. Good morning to you, Rob.
Good morning, Josh. Darlene Flynn became known for her record-breaking and almost fanatical love of shoes. This morning, though, police are still trying to figure out why her own boyfriend may have been responsible for her death.
I am very crazy obsessed with shoes.
She led an eccentric life, and now authorities are searching for answers about her mysterious death.
This kind of stuff just doesn't happen out here.
58-year-old Darlene Flynn reportedly had more than 15,000 shoe-related items decorating her modest California home. Figurines, ornaments, even a shoe chair. Her obsession landing her in the Guinness Book of World Records and a spot on TLC's reality show, My Collection Obsession.
I've spent so much money on my collection over the years, a couple $100,000. I work 60 to 80 hours a week and I barely make my house payment.
On Monday, police found Flynn's lifeless body in her backyard pool and have arrested her boyfriend, 29-year-old Justin Smith, in connection to the alleged murder. Smith also appeared with Flynn on TLC.
Darlene makes me make her a shoe breakfast. I'll form it into a shoe and serve it to her. Good morning, shoe heart.
After reports of a fight, police arrived at the home, discovered the body, and saw a shirtless Smith running away from the backyard. Neighbors said the couple had a rocky past and that tension was sometimes evident on the show.
Darlene and I sometimes argue about her shoes. Sometimes I think she gets too many shoes, but I learned to just deal with it.
He'd be fighting with her, and he'd take off and come back a couple hours later, and they just did not get along real well.
From reality show fame,
They just kind of pop out at me and say, hey, here I am.
to the news.
Flynn was found dead in her own swimming pool the other day.
Police are now left wondering what could have gone so horribly wrong. And Smith is set to be arraigned later today. Josh?
Rob, thank you for that. We're going to turn now to our Chief Legal Affairs anchor, Dan Abrams. And Dan, a volatile relationship glimpsed by neighbors, a shirtless boyfriend running away from the scene. Doesn't look good for him.
No, when you find a dead body like this in the pool, blunt force trauma, the first thing you're going to want to know is who did she know, who were those closest to her. Those are the people you're going to look at first. Then, when you also see her boyfriend running away from the scene without his shirt on, they had to capture him later, following a report of a domestic disturbance in the house. Not that surprising that he's been arrested.
You know, we saw just a bit of the reality television program that they had been on, and we heard him speaking to the fact that there were fights in their recent past. How might the film that we have here be used?
Yeah, you have to think of this almost like any videotaped evidence that the authorities might have in connection with a case. If they can demonstrate some sort of motive, if they can demonstrate a consistency of real problems and violence, for example. Again, we don't know if there was violence, but if they could on that video, on that show, then that would certainly be something they could use in connection with this trial. So if you don't think of it just as can they use the reality show video and say, wow, look at all this potential video and audio evidence that they have, they could definitely have something there.
Quickly, what's next then in the investigation?
Well, he's going to be arraigned, and then we're going to learn a little bit more, I think, about exactly why the authorities arrested him, apart from the fact that he was seen running away from the scene without a shirt on.
Apart from that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're going to have, I think they're probably going to present something else. We'll have to see, do they have a murder weapon? Do they have an idea of exactly how this occurred, et cetera?
All right, Dan Abrams, thank you for that.
Josh.